Welcome to this month's edition of the Villages V-Mail. Today, we're going to take a deeper dive into one of our latest initiatives that's really a buzz here in the Villages, a healthy way to fuel our body, the Villages Grown. If you're like myself, most people are looking every day to become the best version of ourselves. That's whether it's our mind, our body, or our spirit. And it's been our goal in the Villages to create the perfect backdrop that allows that to occur for all of us. The Villages Grown was born out of the desire to provide villagers and the surrounding community with fresh, nutrient-dense food to support a healthy, active lifestyle. Well underway is our 45-acre innovative growing complex. And now making the rounds throughout the Villages is our mobile market. And applying the finishing touches, opening soon, the Villages Grown Market on Brownwood Paddock Square. It's all about cultivating a community where we can live life healthy and to the fullest. And so today we're going to chat with Jennifer Waxman of the Villages Grown and learn a little bit more about all the produce that they're growing and the unique ways that it's going to be brought to you. Let's start out with microgreens and how most of us consider them kind of a garnish on a plate. Tell me a little bit more about that.
It's not a garnish anymore. In fact, it's always been used as a garnish because it makes a plate look lovely. You smell it. You're eating with the senses when it's garnished, but really what that really means, when you can have those smells and that visual and that taste profile, that means something's going on in there that's really good for us. That means it's extremely nutrient dense. So we're leading with that. You'll see us kind of launch with that. We're going to be growing about 25 different types of microgreens. And a microgreen is the second phase after a sprout. So that's when it has the vital nutrients in it. To equivalent that to a real world scenario, 1 cup of broccoli microgreens is equivalent to a 1.5 bushels of full grown broccoli heads in one sitting. And who wants to do that?
I don't think you could do that.
So growing in the proper way, if you could just even get 1/4 of that cup, we would like you to get a cup in your daily ritual. You're doing really well.
Wow, so tastes better, higher nutrients. Who doesn't want that, right?
Absolutely.
Wow, that's amazing. And of course, this is talked all about being homegrown and just local, right? I know that you're working with a lot of different local people. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. Our background has been supporting Central Florida's local farms. And when we say local, we mean within 100, at most 150-mile radius. And many of these are multi-generational farms that we want to help do what they do best, and that's farm. The minute a farmer leaves that farm to try to sell or market or let people know they're in their own backyard,
They're no longer farming.
That's right. Okay. So we're here to support those that we've been working with for a long time, but also seek out others that are in need so that we can put them into our mix and get it right on the plates of the good folks in the villages.
And last but certainly not least, can you share with us a little bit more about the growing practices and how it is in harmony with our environment?
Absolutely. So our background is sustainable agriculture. We're extremely environmentally conscious. In fact, our entire system, our entire project is a closed loop system, using 75% less water than typical agriculture. We don't need to use fertilizers because we're growing indoors. We have environmental control system that's actually fully AI automated, artificial intelligence that's doing sensors and pH testing, testing the ambient air, everything that would affect a plant so that it can do what it's meant to do, and that's be vibrant and nutrient dense and all those things. We're aiding in that. We're kind of like the mother hen for the plants. So very exciting stuff.
Just amazing. So excited to be a participant in receiving some of these great greens.
We're excited too.
Appreciate all your knowledge, expertise, and helping us become healthy.
Well, thank you for allowing me on your dinner table.
And now let's check in with Adam Wright and Dr. Huggins to learn more about the operations of the greenhouses and our mobile market.
We started in hydroponics almost 46 years ago, primarily studying the aspects of how to grow food with higher nutritional value. We've discovered some very unique ways of producing different types of produce, wide range of produce, in a greenhouse here in Florida. And we got a great season because it's year-round.
But how do we do that?
We have controlled environments. It's what we work with in each of the sections. We can control a lot about the temp, but the amount of light that a plant gets to the amount of nutrition that it gets. So we have sensors set up in the greenhouses to test every aspect of growing so we can monitor it 24/7. The reason why that I did this is that I found that a good plant-based diet, a whole food diet, was the best for chronic illnesses. What we discovered is that if a person eats well, that it really helps them. And also looking at a preventative aspect of it. You know, if we eat what we need to eat, put in our bodies what we need to eat, I'll have a lot less chance of contracting some of the more chronic diseases.
So the next question would be, all the villagers ask me about tomatoes. When are we going to have tomatoes? Can you tell us a little bit more about what's inside those tomatoes and what we're doing to create those?
What makes us different is that we know what the tomato plant needs. So if we give the tomato plant what it needs, it gives us what we need. And it's not only do you get the nutrition out of it, but the nice red colors and the health benefits from it, and it tastes good.
So they're going to get that tomato they're used to tasting up there.
Absolutely.
That's great. So tell us a little bit more about the greenhouse environment itself. How do we control it to show different zones and environments?
Well, we have controlled aspects of it, from fans that pull the air through. We have what we call a wet pad. It runs water through it, and we can control the temp by doing that. So if we need a plant growing in a hotter environment, we just basically turn that off. But it's totally controlled. The water itself, for instance, we found that lettuces, years ago we said we couldn't grow lettuce in Florida because it's too hot for it. It bolts or it goes to seed too quick. But what we discovered is that if you keep the roots cold, you can grow it 24/7, summer, winter, fall, and spring. And that's what we're doing.
So you've told me in the past that with some of this technology that we're using, that we can actually shorten the amount of time it takes to grow a head of lettuce.
What we've also discovered is that there are certain nutrients that the plant needs. And so we have a broad spectrum of nutrients that we feed the plant. Let me give you an example of this. In Florida, the soil is lacking so many things. You have about anywhere from 6 to 12 minerals maximum. And there are of the macro, micro, and the trace minerals, over 90 of these. And so what we are doing is we have adjusted the amount of nutrients that these plants are getting. Simply put, it causes the plants to grow better because it's getting everything that it needs right at the root level. It doesn't have to go searching for it.
The mobile market came about 4 to 5 years ago when Jennifer Waxman and myself were working in different community programs in the Central Florida area. We had theorized about having some sort of really unique mobile market. When this opportunity with the Villages Grown came about, we just happened to come across an Airstream, and we shared the idea with the entire team, and everybody loved it, and we started to build on it. So we're about a little over a year deep into the progress of this, and it just came out of production. But it's a 1975 Airstream land yacht. We've actually added another door into it to have an enter and an exit on it, which is amazing. And we've used Myco Customs out of Wildwood to actually redo the interior of it to make it look like an old farm store. One of the unique things that we have about these is when we were starting our company up at the beginning, we had a lot of help from my grandparents, and that's Tom and Erica. So when you see these vehicles out in the road, you're gonna see Tom and you're gonna see Erica out here. And it's one of my favorite things.
And now let's check in with some of our villagers who've had the chance to catch up with this mobile market.
I'm very excited about the Villages Grown. I'm really looking forward to it.
I love it. I love the convenience, and it's really nicely well done inside.
It's adorable. I love it. I mean, it's really cute inside.
I'm telling you, I was so excited. I leaped out of my car and ran in there without my purse. But I'm going to try those microgreens for sure, because that's something very different.
I really am looking forward to like fresh tomatoes. I think homegrown tomatoes you can't beat.
I went to one of the breakfast orientations, and I got to learn a lot more about, how this started and where it's going. And I got to tell you, on this scale, this is just fantastic.
Oh, I think it's going to be wonderful. I mean, I truly think to have fresh greens and fresh tomatoes, fresh produce is great for everybody.
Bottom line for everyone is good health. And the more awareness you can create of how important good nutrition is, and where does good nutrition come from? From fresh fruits and vegetables. And when there's no pesticides, no herbicides, I mean, you can't even imagine how much healthier people will become. I think it's going to make people in the villages, if this is possible, even healthier.
And you'll want to watch for the mobile market in your neighborhood. And coming soon, the opening of the Villages Grown retail store in Brownwood. To learn even more about everything the Villages Grown has to offer, visit our website at thevillagesgrown.com. Thanks for joining us for this month's edition of the Villages V-Mail.
We'll see you around town loving the lifestyle.